When laws start shaping the values in your home, your children's classroom, and future opportunities, I think it's time to pay attention. There are three specific laws that I want to cover today that are trending in mainstream media. I want to go over these specific laws because I believe these laws affect family, they affect higher education, and they also affect future opportunities concerning Americans. Rulings on gender affirming care, the Ten Commandments returning back to the classroom, and also the dismantling of affirmative action and how it affects not only higher education now, but higher education in the future. I'll be talking about these things today, and I will be breaking them down. What are the stats? What's the information? What are the arguments? And also how it affects you and I. So stay with me, and I'll be right back.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
You know I'm always
Hi there, I'm Abby K. Welcome to the Creative Leadership Network, known as TCLN, where education is the specialty and solutions are the art. I brought this broadcast together so that we can rise above social, systemic, and spiritual issues that we face every day in our nation. The goal is to help us to do better, get better, and become better. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, make sure that your phone notifications are turned on so that you will not forget to be inspired and to stay informed. So with that being said, let's jump right in. I think a lot of times we get so caught up in entertainment or we get caught up in our everyday distractions of our lives that we really don't pay attention to what is happening to us around the world, also within our world. We're so distracted about gossip. We love to sit up and know what everybody else's business is, and we don't seem to see what our business is, whether that be international or whether that be in our backyards trying to find out what is the latest case on Diddy. But while everyone is distracted by that type of information, I want to make sure that I elevate you today with a specific type of information that I feel that can be of value to you. It has to do with policy, legislation, and law. These decisions are rewriting the rules that govern identity, education, and equality in America. Let's break down what's happening now, why it matters, and how it can shape choices for your family and for tomorrow opportunities. Just have that conversation. Have that conversation here on TCLN Network in the comment section. Have that conversation at home. Have that conversation with your family. If you have children, your children are going to grow up. Your children are going to be influenced by society. It's just the way it is. They have it in cartoons. I remember being at the hotel not too long ago in South Carolina. I saw them with a big grown man. It was a cartoon, but it was a big grown man. He's supposed to have been a teacher. He had a little pink suit on and a little bow in his head, and there was little kids around. And he was the teacher. So it's in the cartoons, it's being influenced in everything. And you can't shy away from it. You got to have these conversations. And you got to have them. So have them. Okay. Next, moving on to my next subject. That's how much it's ingrained. So every day when you're teaching your children these principles, I would ask you to have a broader scope when you're thinking about the commandments. Don't think about whose religion it is. Think about it as universal principles. And think about it, it is very much needed. It's needed between teacher and child. It's needed between pupil to pupil. It's needed between parent and child. It's needed between law and order. It is very much needed. I close out with that, on that note, and with that, we're going to get to my next subject, baby, and we are out of here. Now, affirmative action in higher education, you guys. Let's talk about it. Affirmative action overturned in higher education. Students for Fair Admissions, Inc. versus Harvard College and versus University of North Carolina. Let's touch on that. So as of June 29, 2023, the ruling was 6-3 Harvard and 6-2 UNC. Chief Justice John Roberts. Majority opinion by. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that race consciousness admissions policies at Harvard and UNC violated the Equal Protection Clause as of the 14th Amendment, and decisions effectively ended nearly 50 years of precedent allowing race to be considered as one factor in college admissions. There's a lot of debate out there about this, guys. It's still going on, too, by the way. Majority view Roberts admissions must treat students as individuals, not as representatives of racial groups. Race may only be mentioned in the context of personal experience, not as a factor in admissions and decisions. Dissenting view Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson. The ruling rolls back decades of precedent and a precedent. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing that wrong, and momentous progress, ignoring the realities of systemic inequality and cementing a superficial rule of color blindness. Woo. I'm going to talk about it from a different perspective. You know how I roll. There are dissenting parties. Some say they are so wrong for what they do. You have outlets, media outlets. You have independent, especially independent media outlets. You have blacks say certain things. Some blacks say good, do away with it. Judge us based off of our intelligence. A lot of blacks say no, because of so many injustices, we needed that in place. It depends on what side you're on or what you believe. But I want to talk about it from this perspective. Did it really, really alleviate a lot of injustice? Or did a lot of people who got into student debt and it kind of messed them over? You haven't heard it talked about from that perspective, huh? Well, that's where I come in at. That's where TCLN Network comes in at. Let's talk about this, right? I want to highlight real world impact, and then I'm going to close out because people are going to have their arguments, they're going to have their judgment. I just want you to stay aware of the laws that are in effect that have been taking place. As Americans, you need to always educate yourselves. You need to always be aware. The shift from equity to color blindness. The Supreme Court's ruling ends race consciousness admissions, but does not address the systemic inequities that made affirmative action necessary in the first place. The real world impact. Black and Latina enrollment is already dropping at elite institutions. Legacy admissions remain untouched, continuing to benefit wealthy and often white applicants. Now, what I want to talk about is the reality. Let's get to the truth of affirmative action and student loan debt in America, because it is a hot mess, y'all. There isn't a single data set that clearly separates graduation rates and student loan debt by affirmative action status that we can piece together a clear picture from national trends. That's important, because what it would tell us is that, okay, affirmative action, how many people did it really help versus how many people really graduated versus they went by this but they got into debt and didn't necessarily graduate, or even if they did graduate, they didn't get the jobs that they were really shooting for, and they're still working below poverty line. You see how important that is? See how important that is? Okay, so graduation versus debt, the reality. Graduation rates, according to the National Center for Education Statistics, the 6-year graduation rate for first-time, full-time undergraduate students at a 4-year institutions is around 64%. However, these rates dropped significantly for Blacks, 42%, and Hispanics, 54%, groups that affirmative actions aim to support. Now, that's important, guys. Student loan debt. Roughly 43 million Americans hold student loan debt. Among them, Black borrowers are more likely to borrow and carry out higher balances. Nearly 70% of Black students take out loans for college, and they owe on an average of 25%. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. They owe on an average of $25,000 more than white borrowers from four-year colleges after graduation. Many borrowers never graduate. Repeat that again. Many borrowers never graduate. In fact, about 40% of student loan borrowers did not complete their degree, yet they still carry debt. That's why I love TCLN Network, y'all guys, and you should love it too. Because see, we bring them angles, honey. We bring the stuff that people not talking about. Everybody's arguing over affirmative action, what works, what don't work. But let's talk about what didn't actually work. And all of these people are in debt and still never got the degree. And if they did get the degree, they are still working below poverty line and not working in the job that they went to school for. Let's talk about it. I'm going to end with that. I'm going to let you guys have fun. Have fun. Put your discussions up there, like, share. Tell me what you're thinking. Oh, and I got that information just in case you want to know. I'm going to put it in some slides up there to let you know where I got all my information from. So you know I didn't just pull it out my hat. But I want you guys to have a beautiful, beautiful week. I thank you for joining into TCLN Network. If you got any value, like, share, and subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. Every week I bring that news, but I also bring that commentary, and you do too. Because again, this is all about us, the citizens, the Americans, and we have conversations. And most of the time, it's our conversations that matter. You understand that? Because we are the ones who are experiencing, no matter if it's law, legislation, policy, no matter what it is, okay? You guys have a beautiful week. Bye. You made it to the end. Blessings, blessings, blessings. I am so glad that you stayed to the end. Also, I hope with all of my heart that you were able to be inspired and you were informed, that you found something out of today's broadcast that resonated with you and that you can take within your life and within your journey. With that being said, do not forget to support at my GoFundMe. Also, check out my bookstore at Preeminent Good Books Publishing. In-demand leadership is a concept that I came up with because, after all, I don't care where you are in this world, what you do. The aim is to make sure we're getting better, brighter, and bolder. We do that through lifting one another out of systemic, social, and spiritual issues that affect us daily. Thank you so much. And as my favorite childhood reporter would say, courage, my friends, courage. Until next time, bye, you guys.